Hey everyone! So today's video 2 in my new series, Project Weight Loss. Today I'm going to help you understand something. It's one of my most frequently asked questions about losing weight, and that is how to pick a meal plan for where you are in life. So if you're new to me, my name is Sherry Capella. I am a certified project manager and Christian life coach, and I help women see their weight loss as possible by helping them to find their way through a form of a project, if you will. Let's take a look at this from the perspective of a project plan. At the beginning of the plan, you need to do a little bit of research. So today's video is going to be about just that. So what we're going to talk about today is picking a meal plan or a strategy to use to lose weight for where you are at this age and stage of your life. Because I'm here to tell you that as somebody who professionally coaches women to lose weight on a daily basis, trust me, so many of us have stories about weight loss, and so many of us think that what worked for us throughout the beginning of our lives should work for us now. And the reality is this: what worked for you when you were single and you had all the time in the world probably isn't going to work for you now. What worked for you when you were 25 might not, very likely will not work for you when you are 45 years old. And the reason for that is because you're a completely different woman. Your hormones, everything about you is completely different. What worked for you when you were 25 was completely different because your energy, hormones, ability to sleep, ability to metabolize, all the things are not what they are now. Now you need to start paying attention to things differently, and you need to look at the big picture in order to lose weight more than you can just look at your abdomen or your thighs or just counting calories or weighing the grams or blending the shake. You've got to pay attention to all of these new variables the older you get. So when you are shopping for the next meal plan to lose weight, I want you to start thinking about who you are at this age. Who I am at 46, Weight Watchers totally used to work for me. Guess what? It doesn't anymore because I have 3 kids running around my feet. Working out every day totally used to work for me. Doesn't anymore because now that would mean I have to get up at 3:30 in the morning if I wanted to get all the things done. I don't have time for that. So I have to pick a plan that works for me at this age, at this stage, in this season in my life. And here's the thing. Sometimes we don't realize that the season of our life calls for a certain plan because there's a reason for even spiritual development on that journey. So let's talk a little bit just about your plans. When you pick a plan, what do you look for? You need to find one that will serve you not only for, with the time that you have on a daily basis, but you need to pick it. You need to make sure that you don't just select a meal plan based on familiarity or based on what your best friend's doing. Because the reality is she might not have the stressors you have. She might have time to cook elaborate meals. She might have time to count calories or whatever the situation is. She doesn't have the obstacles that you have. You need to pay attention to what your body is also telling you with additional symptoms, okay? These additional symptoms could be in the form of you're having difficulty sleeping. You are, every time, if there's a guy watching this, sorry, I'm about to go there. Every time you are PMSing, your symptoms are that you have breast tenderness or that your cycle is irregular, or all of a sudden your cravings spike. All of these things are symptoms that you need to lean into when you're selecting a meal plan, because the reality is whatever you're experiencing in your life, in your body, I should say, that is not how it used to be a while ago, is a symptom you need to pay attention to now. Hey, Jessica and Ashley and Julie. So I encourage you to consider something new. Don't just do it because it's familiar. Don't just do it because your best friend did it. Don't just do it because you did it when you were 25 and it worked for you. You're not her anymore, okay? The next thing is, don't be afraid to change and to learn and to grow. And here's the other thing that I teach women every day. You need to question your food stories. If there's a food that you say, I cannot seek that solution to lose weight because I can't give up that food, you have a food story. My food story used to be, I am not doing any weight loss program if it tells me I can't have my gallon of wine a day. Okay, well, the wine's gone, and guess what else is gone now? My fat. And I used to have a cheese story about cheese, a food story about cheese and wine. Like I couldn't lose weight because I didn't realize that I was so prideful in all of my proud obstacles. I was constantly stuck because of my own stories. So I encourage you to lean into paying attention to what your body is and paying attention to what stories you're telling yourself you can't give up, because you can do anything. So the next thing I want to tell you about is if you are above a certain age, okay, because this is the reality that nobody's talking about. If you're 35 years and older, you are experiencing something called perimenopause. And if you're anybody close to my age, 46, you are rounding the bend, leaving perimenopause and stepping yourself right into menopause. Hello, can anybody say major fun? No. Thank you, Jessica. You're absolutely right. It's not a lot of fun. And this is why I teach women that they have to pay attention to their entire body and what their body is telling them. For me, at the age of 40, however old I was when I first started this food journey, I still had acne. Acne was a symptom I needed to treat and pay attention to, which told me I needed to eliminate whatever it was that was causing that problem. And that problem happened to be dairy. Whenever I eat dairy, guess what happens? Pimples the size of a mountain, which is no fun when you have little preteen children and they like to point it out every 10 minutes. But here's the other thing. The minute I dropped that hot food story about my dairy and how I needed to have dairy, and I saw that, guess what? I didn't need to have it, but not only did I not need to have it, there was life after dairy. Guess what happened? My pimples went away, and so did my belly fat. So I just encourage you to lean in. And here's the thing. I say this all the time. I coach women to weight loss, and I have this client in particular. She shall remain anonymous because I respect her, and I don't necessarily, I respect her, so here I go. She is in her, I want to say mid-30s, maybe baby 30s. And for the first time in her life, guess what she just posted in our exclusive membership community? She just posted that for the first time in her life since having her babies, she is under 250 pounds. And you know what? This didn't happen because she stayed in comfort, okay? This happened as a result of her seeing what was uncomfortable, recognizing her obstacles, recognizing all of her food stories, and walking right toward them. Because whatever it is that you fear doing, even on your weight loss journey, is the thing you need to walk toward, because that's where your wisdom, your discernment, your growth, that's your mountain. You're meant to not stay stuck here anymore. You're meant to go climb and go to a higher level. So here's the thing that she had to do. She had to get comfortable being uncomfortable. She had to experiment. She did what everybody else did, was she jumped on the keto bandwagon, and she immediately found that, you know what, that wasn't going to work for her. She was starting to identify that she had not only some food stories, but some food intolerances. And through the process of elimination, she was able to find out that not only did she have some food stories, but she had some true food intolerances, not too different from me. Her food intolerances, you guys listen to this. Her food intolerances were so much of part of her problem that the minute she dropped keto and she leaned into doing something difficult, I encouraged her to try a sloppy success version of Whole30 after a clean version of it. And when she did that, not only was she able to discern what her food stories used to be, but she was able to see how strong she was, and she paid attention to her whole body. And as she released eating gluten and rice and spiking her insulin and depleting her glycogen and even leaning into meal timing, which is like a scary thing, but she did it, and guess what happened? She's below 250 for the first time since having babies. She's also off of her antidepressants. I mean, she listened to her whole body. She didn't just treat the symptom of fat. She treated the symptoms of her ailments. Her ailments was that she had some anger things, she had some depression things going on, and she also had some weight to lose. She couldn't just treat the weight and expect it all to get in alignment. She had to treat her whole self, because she was a new woman at this point in time, different from who she used to be before she started coaching with me. So I want you to know that the reality is this was hard. This was difficult for her. Keto was fun and easy, and it was what was working for everybody else. Gluten was fun and easy, and it was working for everybody else, but it wasn't working for her. She paid attention to her whole body. What worked for her when she was 25 wasn't working for her anymore as a mom with 2 little babies and all of the food stories that she had going on. She had to level up. So there she is. She's a completely renewed person, and on a daily basis, she's stepping toward her weight loss goals. Just today, or just yesterday in our private Facebook group, she posted a picture of herself with a pair of jeans and her shirt tucked in. And y'all, that smile on her face, knowing that she's no longer captive to depression and to food stories. Oh, I want to show you the picture because she's so amazing, but I love you, girl. I'm not going to show you a picture. So I just want you to consider that when you go Googling and you start looking for this new miracle weight loss program, that you realize that, you know what, wherever you are in your life, you need to pay attention and treat all of the symptoms that are going on in your body. Because if you're facing anything at this age and stage of your life, you need to treat that. Here's what I meant to say. If you're facing anything at this age and stage of your life that is not as it used to be, if right now at this age and stage you have extra weight and you can't lose it, if something right now at this age and stage is not what it used to be at 25, and maybe you're having symptoms that you didn't have at 25, you need to lean into it. So if you're having the PMS and the anger and all of these problems and sleep deprivation or fatigue or brain fog or any of those things, you need to treat all of it. You can't just treat some of it and expect your body to get in alignment, because that's where sabotage, all of these things are going to come. So I encourage you to identify your symptoms outside of just belly fat and to realize that, this belly fat might be happening to you in order for you to graduate to the next level. So you need to look into what the next thing is, because that next diet might not be the answer, but that next meal plan might develop something in you that's going to get you to your breakthrough, to release your food stories, to release the self-sabotage, to release the fatigue, to be able to mom up and be the better person that you need to be for your entire family. You need to treat yourself in accordance to all of the symptoms at later ages and stages of your life. So people ask me all the time, okay, Sherry, what meal plan do you recommend? A good friend of mine had turned me on to Whole30 several years ago, and my life has not been the same since. And when I do my coaching with all the women in my life coaching practice, I teach them how to do a sloppy success version of Whole30. Whole30 is an elimination diet where you basically eliminate all the variables for the foods that are known allergens in your body. Now, here's the thing. I went to become a certified Whole30 coach, and through the process learned that if I stray from doing Whole30 100% compliant to the way that Whole30 likes their program to be run, that I couldn't be certified. And so I thought, you know what? I'm not going to be a certified Whole30 coach, because moms especially need to be able to do sloppy versions of it. And so that's what I do, is I teach women how to do a sloppy success version of Whole30. And all that means is maybe you don't have time to make your own homemade ranch. Maybe you don't have time to make your own ketchup. I teach women all the time, get on Amazon, order your own mayo, order some ranch that's compliant. Suck it up, Buttercup. You can do with, whatever version of it that you found. It might not taste like the stuff that you're used to eating, but the stuff that you're used to eating got you in some fat pants. So that's the way we approach it. And that helps to correct all of the symptoms that accompany your weight loss. So be sure that whenever you're selecting a meal plan for this age and stage of your life, you're finding one that is treating you for who you are right now at this age. Because if you're having, like I said, sleep problems or PMS or breast tenderness during your monthly cycle or regular cycles or cravings or depression or skin problems, 45-year-old pimples, then that's a symptom of something else going on. Don't just treat the fat and expect that you're going to be able to keep it away. You need to actually treat the hormone alignment, all the things. So I can talk about this for days, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I want to encourage you, and I want to tell you that, it might be hard, but that's where your breakthrough is, okay? The minute you stop and you drop and you get rid of those excuses, breakthrough has an opportunity to show up. But it's not going to happen when you're sitting in your cozy chair eating all the favorite things, okay? No, your growth isn't going to happen. That's where stagnation happens. That's where fat pants are made. I encourage you that you can do hard things, okay? I know this because the women that I coach do hard things every single day, and they're losing weight. And if they can do it, you can too. All right, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.